and then I have sort of a bigger
Sure.
picture question around that. But should the administration have been more prepared for these people to come, given the political unrest there this summer, then the earthquake in mid-August, given how conditions were on the ground there even before all of that? And then kind of a second part of it is that the Border Patrol Union has been saying that they had some warnings within the administration as early as June that they were expecting an influx not of Haitians but of other migrants to Del Rio, and that they needed more resources there. So did the administration not act on those things? Were those not widely disseminated concerns? And then, just kind of on the conditions in Haiti, like, couldn't the administration have expected that refugees were going to show up somewhere in these weeks?
Well, there's a range of factors here. It's hard to really gauge what percentage, or I can't attribute at this point what percentage each of those factors are. Obviously, there are challenging circumstances on the ground in Haiti with the government unrest, with the earthquake. There are also a number of smugglers who are taking advantage of this, and we've seen that over the course of the last couple of weeks. Certainly, we're aware of that reality. We've seen that as in other parts of Central America as well. But that's something that we have no doubt has contributed to a rapid influx of people who were told that they could come into the country and everything would be fine, when clearly it's not. So all we can focus on at this point is what steps we're taking now to ensure there is an orderly and humane process, to ensure that people who are there are treated with dignity, that they're going through a process of being considered for the range of options, and that's what our focus is on at this point in time.
Sort of related things or not. President Biden ran on a promise to use government to help people, and that he would be able to wield the powers of government effectively. But we've seen on a range of issues, whether it's the pandemic, immigration, Afghanistan, some missteps or places where the government trying to do its best hasn't necessarily been good enough. So what do you say to a voter who might be saying, I thought Biden was going to know how to run this government, but now we're looking at a potential government shutdown in a week and a default on U.S. debt?
I would say that every president is elected to weather storms and navigate crises, and they come to every presidency. And if you look at all of the things that you loaded into that question, all issues that are happening, of course, currently, the president has been clear that he wanted to end a 20-year war in Afghanistan. He did exactly that. That's something I would say the American public broadly supports. We've certainly acknowledged that there are aspects, of course, of how it was handled or how all of the events transpired that were not what we had planned for. I would say on other issues, we are doing everything we can to prevent a government shutdown and planning to prevent the impact that we've seen in the past that has been quite devastating on different components of government. We're right now in the midst of trying to get a historic package that's going to address a lot of issues the American people care about across the finish line. And making policy is messy, so we're right in the middle of that. So I would say to anyone who feels that way, we're in the middle of navigating and weathering storms and dealing with crises. That's what a president should do. That's what an administration should do. We're not going to shy away from that, and that's what people were elected him to get through. Go ahead.